Welcome. Welcome to this time of worship, to this space where we come together that we might be fed in body and spirit. You are welcome here. I'm the Reverend Beth Hayward, minister of this congregation, and on behalf of the entire congregation, welcome you. We are an affirming congregation, meaning that you are welcome here, not regardless of who you are, but because of who you are. Welcome here because you are a beautiful part of creation. We gather this day on the traditional and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples, and we are so very well aware this day, aware of this land that is on fire in this province that we are so privileged to be in, and the worry and the call on our faith that makes. And so I urge you, however you show up this day, light a candle with me, a candle that dares to say that you will orient to hope, to peace, to love, and perseverance, that you will orient yourself to the spirit of life that binds us one to another and promises that even amidst our doubts, we can be a people of great witness to the love of God. Let's worship together. Join us in singing.
1, 2, 3. Joyful, joyful, we adore you, God of glory, life of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before you, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. All your works with joy surround you, earth and heaven reflect your rays. Stars and angels sing around you, center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, flowery meadow, flashing sweet, singing birds and flowing fountain, sound their praise eternally. You are giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed, wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happiness, source of grace and fount of blessing. All who live in love are thine. Teach us how to love each other, lift us to the joy divine. When darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, No, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Shame no longer has a place to hide. I'm not a captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. No, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Here we go. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. There's power in your name. There's power that can break off any chain. There's power that can empty out a grave. Oh, there's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. There's power in your name. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love.
Though I may speak with bravest fire and have the gift to all inspire and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass and hopeless gain.
Though I may give all I possess and striving so my love profess, but not begin by love within. The prophets too turn strangely thin. inward love. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are free.
There are just a handful, a very small handful of people in the congregation today, and I can feel your energy, as I can feel yours who are watching on the other side of your screens. Music touches our souls. It is such a gift to be able to worship together in whatever form it needs to take. There's a lot happening in our community I want to fill you in on. For those who were not able to attend, we held a congregational meeting on June 27th where we approved a balanced budget for the coming fiscal year, and you can be sure that we will be inviting you to consider your part in enabling us to meet that budget this year in due course. We also named some new board members, John Peters and Joanna Brewster. We said thanks to our outgoing Ministry and Personnel Chair, Colleen Cruikshank, and welcomed new Ministry and Personnel Chair, Michelle Bourbeau. We gave lots of thanks last week at our meeting, and as is human and usual, we left some people out. We left out people like Heather Reed, who keeps this church tidy. She picks up candles after me. She does so many things I don't even know. I just know that when I come back every Sunday, everything's just like I didn't leave it. We forgot to thank people like Sarah Young, who works tirelessly organizing music, helping the choir out in countless ways behind the scenes, and we forgot many others. We're grateful for your contributions. A few things coming up. On July 11th, we will be joined in worship virtually by St. Andrew's United Church from Georgetown, Ontario. So throughout the summer, we will be welcoming various congregations to be part of our worship experience. So if you're watching virtually, an invitation to warmly welcome them. And also, in the spirit of we all need a break, and maybe even you do, for the first time probably in forever, we will be not hosting worship on August 22nd and 29th. We're going to give this team around me a bit of a break. And we'll, in due course, let you know what other churches you might want to join on those Sundays. There is virtual coffee hour following the service, and you are welcome to join in for that. Also, your information you need about what's happening can always be found on our website, canadianmemorial.org, and that is, of course, a place you can go to make financial contributions at any point. Your gifts are greatly appreciated.
When I wake up in the morning, the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be, everybody sing, a lovely day. Oh
The introduction this morning for the scripture lesson, Matthew 21, 18 to 22. We begin our sermon series on doubt with an obscure passage from the Gospel of Matthew. Immediately preceding this story, we hear of Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, and then the overturning of the tables in the temple, and finally coming under the scrutiny of the temple authorities for healing on the Sabbath. At the end of a hard couple of days, we meet Jesus, hungry and a little bit testy. After cursing a tree, he tells the disciples that with enough faith, they can do anything. A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. In the morning, when he returned to the city, he was hungry, and seeing a fig tree by the side of the road, he went to it and found nothing at all on it but leaves. Then he said to it, "May no fruit ever come from you again." And the fig tree withered at once. When the disciples saw it, they were amazed, saying, "How did the fig tree wither at once?" Jesus answered them, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only will you do what has been done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, 'Be lifted up and thrown into the sea,' it will be done. Whatever you ask for in prayer with faith, you will receive." This is the witness of God's people. Thanks be to God.
And thanks to Heather for that reading. I just have to start with the poor fig tree. What did it ever do to deserve that? This is one of those passages I've never preached on, because the way most mainline churches get their scriptures is from this thing called the lectionary, where the readings are kind of assigned over a cycle, and this one isn't in it. And all I can think is that the powers that be, when they made the choices, decided there was just no good news in this one, so let's just skip over it. But let's try to unpack it a bit as we look at doubt over the next few weeks. So let's delve into the story to begin. Jesus is walking along with the disciples first thing in the morning, that time, when the day is fresh and new and you're rested. But it's been a week, and this is heading into Holy Weeks. Things are intense. You've got to think that Jesus is feeling stress and a bit of anxiousness, and apparently he's hungry. So they probably left wherever, the bed and breakfast they were at, and said to themselves, all right, well, we'll head into the diner first thing and make sure we fill our tummies, but he can't make it. And he sees the fig tree. And I just feel like maybe he snapped in that moment, and cursed the tree. And the way stories are told, so often, we like to tell the story, with a beautiful ending, or maybe with the moral of the story. But it seems to me some responses must have been missing. A few of those disciples must have turned to themselves and said, we got to get this guy on retreat. He's losing it here. And Jesus himself, you got to think that he felt a little bit embarrassed for doing the whole thing to the fig tree. But all that it says, and I can only assume this was out of his embarrassment about it all, is he uses it as this really strong lesson of, hey, be warned. If you have doubts, you won't be able to do anything, but if you have faith without any doubts, you'll be able to do what I did to the fig tree. You'll even be able to move mountains. But let's remember, as sure as he sounds in that moment, even Jesus himself doubted. In 2 of the gospel stories, when he comes to the cross, he doubts in the most profound, deep, incarnate way, my God, why have you forsaken me?" So strange, isn't it, that he's putting down doubt when not only will he be one of the greatest doubters, but in fact, the scriptures are filled with people, filled with doubts. Every last person that God calls in the Hebrew scriptures seems to say, no, I'm not worthy. I don't think you've got the right person. Sure, I can't do it. Where are you, God? I doubt that you're even with us. Doubt is a thread throughout scriptures and throughout our lives. And so let's see what we can do with it, and see if we can find some good news in it. The trouble, I think, becomes when doubt is seen as this shadow side of faith, when it's like it's sad, poor cousin, when we can't admit that there might be benefits to it. Doubt, though, like think about doubt in your life and how it challenges your assumptions. I love the way my favorite biblical storyteller, Fred Buechner, says, whether your faith is in God, in the fact that there is a God, or that there isn't a God, if you don't have doubt, then you are either kidding yourself or asleep. So regardless of what Jesus says, here is my first go at your doubts are okay. You're in good company. In fact, better to befriend the things that weigh us down. We put so much judgment on feelings. Judgment on words on facts even, on words that don't deserve judgment. I mean, think of how happy feelings, joy, that's all good, right? But if you're feeling anxious, like not a good feeling. Except that if you're the person feeling anxious, and then you've got to feel guilty for feeling that way, it just like adds this extra layer of shame. We need to get away from this idea that feelings can be attributed to things that are just facts. Prime example, the weather. I promise you, I will never again say that a rainy day is a bad day. After what we've been through in this province, we can no longer give that sort of value to that experience. Weather is what it is, and maybe we should pay attention to it instead of just that we prefer when it doesn't rain on our, whatever it is we want to be doing. So when we look at this word doubt, I always go back to this book, a nice little book by a philosopher, a historian. Her name, let me just get her first name, Jennifer Michael Hecht, and her book is called Doubt. You can find it easily. She also did an interview on Being a number of years ago, so if you just want like the Coles Notes version of what she says about doubt. But she's gone all through history, like way before biblical times, and found just what a key force doubt is, and in fact, how it has throughout generations actually pushed us into deeper knowing, into more wisdom, into revising ideas that no longer fit or that science or life experience says were not the full idea. So she says that we need to consider doubt to be like its own protagonist in our story, that it isn't something to hide from or feel ashamed of. It's not a sign that your belief isn't strong enough. And in fact, this whole idea that faith and doubt are separate and one's good and the other is bad, really for the most part is a really recent convention. Whole religions, says Jennifer Hecht, have based themselves on doubt, that in fact the strain of Zen Buddhism sees doubt as like the arrival. When you are fully in doubt, that's when you actually arrive at inner peace and wisdom and oneness. So let's, since, maybe I'm just justifying what we all feel anyway, let's run with that idea that doubt actually has a place in our lives. Okay, so here's the part where I want to just throw a curveball into what we're talking about. And I want to look at this work from Whitney Bowman. I was first introduced to him a number of years ago when I was taking a course at Vancouver School of Theology. He's a professor in religion and science. And let me just quote for you. He says that many of us forget that the opposite of faith is certainty, not doubt. Doubting is a part of what it means to dialogue with human and earth others, and if one is unable to doubt, one can only have a monologue. Now, obviously, if you look in the dictionary, you're going to see that the opposite of faith is doubt. But let's go to our life experience. The opposite of faith is certainty. And so not to put words in Jesus' mouth, but what if he meant certainty? What if he had been able to tap into his higher self? What if he hadn't been so hungry and worn out and afraid? What if he may have said, don't have certainty, because your faith will wither and die if you are certain about things. And, let's use me as a case study, right? How difficult is it to have a dialogue with someone who's certain? Like me when I'm driving. It doesn't matter what the Google map says, doesn't matter what anyone in my family says. If I know that I'm going the most efficient route, I'm certain. There's no point arguing with me. I'm the same way too when it comes to recollecting history, that my version is always the accurate version. Tell me I'm not alone here. So I think you can come up with examples from your life of the moments you are certain. You're shut off. You're not open to exploring what else might be possible. And certainly when we look at a life in faith, whoa, there is something about coming to an understanding or a certainty or finding yourself in a community of faith who says, this is what you got to believe, that feels comforting at first. But eventually, without that aspect of questioning and curiosity, we become stagnant, we become rigid. And let's look at the state of our world and what's happening in our world today and how it's a pandemic of its own, that we are afraid, if you will, to have doubts, that we are so certain along particular lines. And it even happens when you've got a brilliant idea, that you're certain that you found your way. I think they say that's part of why Einstein was so good, because he was constantly revising what he did, always doubting what he had come up with before, and in fact, correcting previous things that seemed like the right answer. I want to talk about this idea of certainty and just what a problem it is for us beyond our personal lives. And I want to say to you, I never intended to be the pastor who kept bringing up whatever the social issue was of the day. And yet, our faith keeps calling us back out to who am I in the world. So let's look at certainty through a couple of lenses of what's happening in the world today. Let's look at the story, the reality for Indigenous peoples in Canada. Let's look at the story of Indigenous children are about 10% of the population, but 50% in care. Indigenous adults are just over 4% of the population, but over 30% incarcerated. Look at the state of drinking water on reserves. Are we certain that this is just reality? That there's nothing we can do about this? What would happen if we say to ourselves, maybe we're missing something? Maybe we don't need to be so certain that whatever it is in the world that is leaving people behind has to be that way. It's like we get stuck in our certainty of apathy, of we're powerless. And let's look through the lens of climate change, because frankly, after what's happening in BC, I can't stop thinking about it. I don't know about you. If we take this guise of certainty when it comes to the climate crisis, what would our answers be? It could be, I'm certain that technology will save us. It could be, I'm certain that we are so far gone that we may as well just throw our hands up in the air. Maybe, like me, sometimes it feels like I am so certain that I am powerless here, that I don't know what to do, and so I'm frozen in my steps. What if instead we came at these crises, these monumental challenges of our day, with a posture of doubt, where we call into question what we think we know for sure, where we keep pressing ourselves together to say, is this all we can do? Are there possibilities beyond what I can imagine? When it comes to telling stories, I think we too often want to get to the pretty package, the perfect story where things are resolved because it feels so good. But in reality, most of what happens in our stories is the long, arduous work that shifts us from what used to limit us into new possibilities for life for all. I think we need to start telling the story between the moment when Jesus woke up that day and when he gave them that really clear lesson, and look at what happened in between. What are the stories of people struggling, long, hard struggles, to get to the places that God calls us? And if we can lift up those stories, then we start to eat away at this idea of, oh, I'm certain I can't do anything. I'm certain this is how things will always be. Then we start to really tap in to our doubts. So maybe let's spend less time imagining how we can move mountains or curse fig trees. Let's spend less time sending billionaires into space, and let's choose other impossible things wisely to focus our energy on. Will doubt actually save us? I'm not certain, but the future is always open. Amen.
When common ground is holy
we carry on in a spirit of prayer. If there are too many words for you, you have my full permission to tune out. Just be in that heart space that you need to be in. Our prayers today encompass the prayers for those who are grieving, those who are numb, those who are afraid, all of us. I'm going to offer words from a prayer offered through the United Church of Canada, specifically about our response to creation and the place for our faith and our doubt in that. And so listen in. May these words of prayer wash over you as a gift and a calling. God of creation, we live in a world where both beauty and danger surround us. Receive our prayers for those impacted by and living in fear of the wildfires across the interior of British Columbia, for all who cannot find adequate food or safety or shelter, for those who have lost their homes, their churches, their community centers and workplaces, for creation that has been destroyed and in harm's way, for all things and places that are in need of healing. We pray and we seek help to heal the pain of all affected, to be strengthened with your presence for all who are numb and in fear and distress. Guide those who are anxious, who search and wait for loved ones, and be near those who are grieving. Bless them with your peace. In the midst of disaster, we give thanks for moments of generosity and human kindness. May tenderness and strength and wisdom be given to all those who stand up to help, those who stand in the way of danger, all who minister to human needs in our time of distress. We gather, O God, these prayers with the trust and even the doubt that you already hear our needs and call us into action. Friends, your prayers are held in the embrace of the love that surrounds us and dwells within us. Let's offer at this time words that Jesus taught us to pray as followers of his way. Our Father, Mother, who lives in and beyond all of creation, may your name be made holy. May your commonwealth thrive. May your justice be done. May your loving compassion reign in every season. Give us today the bread we need, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. In every trial, strengthen us, and in the midst of evil, deliver us. For yours is the dominion and the power and the glory now and forever. Amen.
River running in you and me, Spirit of life, deep mystery, dancing down to the holy sea. River run deep, river run free. River laughed on my birthday day, wind and water joined in play, soaked my soul in the shining spray. River run deep, river run free. scared to swim, afraid I'll drown. Give me the courage to journey on. River run deep, river run free. Hold me close on the day I die. Bear me up when my soul is tired. Carry me home on the rising tide. River run deep, river run free. River singing you and me. Spirit of life, deep mystery. Cast up in your melody. River run free, river run free. River run deep, river run free.
Oh, it's been so good to be with all of you, to be here in this place and to join you in your homes. Thank you for joining us. Of course, like every week, you can join us for coffee and conversation by turning off the YouTube channel and going on to the Zoom link. All are welcome, whether you're new, even if you don't have any coffee to drink, whatever it is, come on and join us today. I'm pretty sure this week that you will have moments when you lose your cool, moments when you triumph over struggle, moments when it feels like it's all too much, and moments when you're overcome with a sense of awe. Let's spend a little less time this week judging those feelings and instead taking them for what they are, the gift of life. And may your life be informed by the great love that holds us and surrounds us, and may it guide you into authentic living. Go in the love and the peace of God, Creator, Redeemer, and Giver of life. Amen.
1, 2, 3. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one